Hello everyone. Mm, My name's Yuvraj Sen, front-end developer at YantraCore, and today at the session of knowledge sharing, I I want to give a presentation about WebXR and how the web is evolving with the use of WebXR. So, in order to understand what WebXR is, first we need to understand what XR is. XR is primarily the umbrella term that generalizes the terms VR, AR, and MR. And what these technologies uh, are is that uh, they allow us to interact with 3D objects from 3D objects like they are uh, around us by using technologies such as headsets and AR glasses and mixed reality headsets, which allow us to interact with the 3D meshes and objects that we create in a digital environment, and uh, uh, we can place and interact it using the technologies such as MR mixed reality headsets. And so we know what XR is. That we know what XR is. So what is WebXR? WebXR is primarily a web API that allows us to develop XR, AR, or VR applications in our web. It is private. It is a new web API that has emerged due to the popularity and improvements in the technology and fields of AR and VR, which companies like Apple's and Meta have pushed forward with their headsets such as Vision Pro headsets and Meta Quest headsets. WebXR is a API that allows us to create applications in the web uh, in the web where in the web which we can then uh, uh, browse and use in the uh, in the technologies or in the devices that the AR and VR development communities and organizations have created. WebXR primarily uh, uh, works with accordance to the WebGL API, which renders the 3D objects and the uh, 3D objects and the scene occur around the renders the 3D objects and the scenes by working with the device uses the uh, that uses that uses the WebXR application that we have built, and the WebXR uh, and the WebXR hit test uh, is is a raycasting technique that is used to identify the 3D objects and meshes that we place in the surrounding environment with the help of the 3D development tools such as Blender and 3JS for rendering the 3D meshes in our web environment. And the use cases of WebXR comes to gaming and entertainment, where we can play games and watch movies or experience animations or other things like those, such that we are right there in real time and not in a 2D surface. And education. It helps in education by making learning more interactive, with uh, mm, making us be able to uh, move and use the 3D objects that we are learning and knowing about, such as it creates, such as we can create a 3D space, 3D space for many students at once, so they can interact it together and learn together. And virtual tours and WebXR helps in virtual tours by making it possible to explore places, uh, where explore places by uh, sitting at our own space and traveling through a 3D space by using the browser and making it easier. It helps in e-commerce by allowing us to uh, browse and see products of various companies that might use WebXR to promote their products and display their products in the web environment, which will help in the customer uh, being able to see and interact with the product in real time, like it was right in front of them. And social interactions, it also helps in social interactions by making it possible for users to uh, join 3D spaces or spaces such as metaverse for social interactions, like playing games and everything. And lastly, the training, it is also used for training simulators where people can use the 3D space created by the WebXR and the 3D technologies such as WebGL, 3GS, and everything, where it can simulate uh, environments for uh, 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 flight training and uh, 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 train simulation and etc. And so we know the use cases of WebXR. Now, how does the WebXR work? WebXR is a web API that is designed for VR or AR support to for the presentation of 3D scenes. Uh, it uses a set of APIs to access uh, device sensors like accelerometers or gyroscopes from devices such as the headsets and uh, even our mobile phones. There are the WebXR communicates with those devices to get the information on how the positioning and everything of the device, and then it transforms the data such that we can move and interact with the 3D objects that are placed in that environment. Yeah, and with the information provided, the APIs, we can use the standard web development tools like JavaScript and WebGI to show or create what we want. When we get the information that are provided by those devices, if we want to create web applications to show and to create a game or a environment in a 3D environment, we can use WebGL to render the 3D objects, and simple JavaScript to for the interactivity and logic behind the application. And why WebXR is the future? Uh, WebXR uh, is the future because it is very easy in distribution, uh, and it is very easy in updating the versions of the applications that is developed using WebXR, because uh, WebXR is a technology that works in the browser, and it is very easy to create it and deploy it and develop and distribute it to the users via the browser, where use the users do not have to download or install anything. They just need a browser that supports the WebXR, such that they can access anything that has been developed by us, and they can use it. And it is also easy to update the software, because like a normal web application web application, it uses the technologies that are already there, and it is faster in comparison to other applications for VR AR software that needs installations and downloads and everything, which is a slow process in comparison to the WebXR. It is also cost efficient uh, due to the technologies that are already used to develop web applications, such as uh, uh, simple HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and everything, uh, which is also more cost efficient than in the development of applications primarily focused for uh, headsets, and like Vision Pro and MetaQuest. Hardware and software independence. It is also very easy to use due to it running in the browser, and people can access the WebXR applications from the headset, from the mobile, or even from the laptop. They just need uh, the application just might interact differently, because in a laptop we cannot access the AR environment, but we can interact it using a mouse uh, and moving it uh, like we are moving our heads to navigate. And yeah, WebXR also, the support for WebXR is also being increased, uh, and and is being pushed forward by the World Wide Web Consortium, and provided uh, uh, provided a documentations and list and everything in support for the development of WebXR, which has also uh, pushed the development of WebXR. And how we can experience WebXR. WebXR is uh, the applications made by WebXR. We can experience it by using headsets such as MetaQuest, Vision Pro, or anything that has a browser, and the browser and if the browser is compatible with WebXR. While using WebXR or any of the virtual reality or mixed reality headsets, there may come up with health and safety risks, such as reality sickness or physical risk. Virtual reality sickness is a type of sickness that might happen when a user uh, navigates or moves through a virtual space, and then when they remove the headsets, they might feel disorientated, and they may feel nauseous due to the brain uh, not finding what is right and wrong with the coordination. And physical risks come when a user navigates through a virtual space, and they don't know what's around their surrounding, and uh, might hit or might fall down, and that kind of risks might come when they use virtual reality headsets to navigate through a WebXR applications and any virtual reality applications. And the limitations of WebXR comes mm, majorly due to it being new, and most browsers being incompatible with it. And there is also a is there is also a issue of performance and high latency of web applications in general, which which might be a big deal, because in a VR AR experience, performance is a very needed thing. If because if there is poor performance, then the navigation and everything will not be good, and will and may bring health problems, such as the virtual reality sickness, which can be caused due to the poor performance in the application 3D application that is developed. AR and VR also needs a high bandwidth, which again impacts the performance of the WebXR application in general. That was my uh, that was the last slide. And if there is any questions regarding WebXR, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, I'll go first. So, what do you think? How do you think we could make use of WebXR for something like Restroverse?
For something like rest of us, we could use uh, WebXR to firstly contact the businesses that are listed in our application. Then uh, we can contact them and uh, give the user a choice to explore the business or anything that they want in a 3D space directly.
Okay, so what is the element? For example, the image element is IMG in HTML, the video element is VIDEO. So how do you render something like AR or VR?
The AR or VR is rendered in the web using WebGI, which is a API that handles the graphics for the web, that is rendered on a canvas on the document.
Hmm.
It takes the information from the WebXR API that takes information from the device, and it gives it to the WebGI renderer, and it renders on the screen.
Okay, a good presentation, Yuvraj. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Looks like there are no web developers. We're the only ones. So
Good presentation, Yuvraj. Good presentation, good content. Thank you for sharing.
I also
Thank you.
second that.
Thank you.
Good presentation.